Hey everyone, welcome back. Have you ever seen these two people joining the gym on the same day? Same trainer, same dumbbells, same protein shake, same WhatsApp gym selfie. After 3 months, one person looks stronger and the other looks in the mirror and says, Doctor, nothing is happening. Maybe I am a non responder. This word, non responder, has become very popular. Some people blame genetics, some people blame hormones, some blame age, some blame the gym machine, and some blame the trainer, the protein powder, the weather, and even gym AC. But in 2025, some of the world's leading muscle researchers met in Finland to discuss one important question. Why do different people respond differently to strength training? Their summary was published in Journal of Applied Physiology in 2026, and the message is genuinely hopeful. You may not be a non-responder. You may simply be underdosed, under-recovered, under-progressed, or over-expecting. Most people are non-responders. They are just impatient with biology. To make this simple, let us use three fictional characters, Doraisamy, his wife Meenakshi, and their neighbor Mrs. Kamala. They are fictional, but the doubts they ask are very real. The same doubts we hear every day in clinic, gym, and family WhatsApp groups. Today, let us break six common myths about muscle, aging, genetics, and strength training. And Doraisamy, Meenakshi, and Mrs. Kamala will help us understand this without needing a PhD in ribosomes. So let's begin. Before we start, this video is for general education purpose only. It is not a personal exercise prescription. If you have medical problems, pain, recent surgery, osteoporosis, heart disease, balance problems, or any major health concerns, please consult your doctor or a qualified professional before starting strength training. Myth number one. If I don't gain muscle fast, strength training is not working. This is one of the biggest myths. Many people believe that if they start gym today, in 3 months, they should look like a movie hero in a climax fight scene. Doraisamy comes to the clinic and says, Doctor, I joined gym for 4 weeks. I bought gloves, shoes, shaker bottle, and protein powder, but biceps did not come. Meenakshi immediately says, Doctor, only the protein powder box became empty, biceps still under construction. Here is a reality check. The research summary reports that in shorter programs, around 8 to 12 weeks, adults gain roughly 1.3 to 1.8 kilograms of lean mass on average. And it clearly states that popular gym claims like 8 to 12 kilograms of muscle per year are not realistic for most people and are not supported by published studies. This matters more than it sounds. If your expectation is unrealistic, then even good progress will feel like a failure. Muscle gain is not an instant coffee. It is more like planting a coconut tree. You water it, you protect it, you wait. One day it gives you shade. And remember, strength training often improves your nervous system, coordination, balance, your confidence, and daily function before the mirror shows any signs. Your body becomes stronger before it becomes bigger. So before saying, I am not responding, ask, am I stronger than before? Can I climb stairs more easily? Can I carry grocery bags better? Is my posture better? Is my pain less? Can I get up from chair more easily? Don't judge your progress only in the mirror. Judge it in the staircase, in the kitchen, in how you get up from chair. Muscle size is only one part of the response. The function matters. So myth number two, just lift anything, the details don't matter. Is the second myth. The second myth is just the opposite extreme. Some people say, Doctor, I am doing exercise, but when we ask what exercise, they say, I lift 2 water bottles while watching a seal. Movement is good, but if your goal is to build or preserve muscle, the training dose matters. The research summary gives clear practical guidance. Muscle can grow across a wide repetition range, roughly 5 to 30 repetitions, if the set is genuinely challenging. Moderate loads, around 8 to 12 repetitions, are a practical starting point for most people. Rest matters too. If you rest only 20 to 30 seconds between the hard sets, your next set becomes weak. For most exercises, around 60 seconds or a little more helps. For big lifts like squats, presses, rows, or deadlifts, around 2 minutes is better. Effort matters. Train close to failure, but you don't have to collapse dramatically like a hero in a slow motion shot. A practical rule is stop when you feel you could do about two more good repetitions. This is called two repetitions in reserve. And the summary suggests aiming toward roughly 12 hard sets per muscle group per week for many people, while recognizing that the ideal dose varies between individuals. Mrs. Kamala says, Doctor, I am doing strength training daily. I ask, what exactly are you doing? She says, I go to the gym, sit on three machines, talk to two people, take one selfie, and come back. This is not resistance training. This is social media with dumbbells in the background. Strength training needs four things. Number one, load. Two, effort. Three, progression. And four, consistency. You can use machines, you can use dumbbells, you can use resistance bands, you can use your own body weight. The muscle does not know whether the resistance came from an imported machine or a local dumbbell. The muscle need understands only tension. So the real question is not machine or free weight. The real question is, are you training safely, progressively, and consistent? Coming to myth number 3, my DNA test will tell me whether I can build muscle. It's the third myth. This is very attractive myth because sounds scientific. You spit in a tube, send it to a company and tell you you are genetically designed for power or you are genetically designed for endurance. And suddenly everyone becomes either a Usain Bolt or a Himalayan monk. But here is how thin the evidence for prediction actually is. One large study screened 500 gene variants in around 1,300 people and found only two with any lead to muscle outcomes. A newer study scanned over 315,000 variants and found just one. Now, what is that gene variant? To think of DNA like a very long instruction book, most of the book is the same in all humans, but in some places, one person may have one letter and another person may have a different letter. For example, at one location in DNA, one person may have A, another may have G. This tiny difference is called gene variant. Most variants do nothing obvious. Some may be associated with small difference in muscle traits, recovery, or training response. But for muscle gain, there is usually no single supermuscle gene. The effect is spread across hundreds of thousands of tiny differences. So testing one or two genes like reading two words from 10,000 page book and claiming you know the full story. This is why a DNA test may sound impressive but still cannot reliably tell you, sir, you will gain exactly this much muscle from training. Doraisamy asks, Doctor, should I do a genetic test to know if I can build muscle? His wife, Meenakshi, says, before genetic test, let us first test whether he goes to gym regularly. She is right, and so is the science. Yes, genetics likely plays some role. Heritability estimates may range from 30 to over 70%, but because the effect is spread across so many small genetic differences, no single test can reliably predict your muscle gain result. That is why the paper advises practitioners not to place undue weight on genetic tests unless future research proves their usefulness. So do not use genetics as an excuse because even if genetic loads the gun, your lifestyle pulls the trigger. And in strength training, the lifestyle factors are very clear. Regular training, progressive load, enough protein and total food, good sleep and time. A gene test may tell you your spelling differences, but your muscles still want to see your attendance sheet, your gym attendance sheet. Before you test your genes, test your calendar. How many sessions did you actually complete in the last 12 weeks? A DNA report cannot replace attendance. Myth number 4. My hormones are the only reason I am not growing muscle. Now, hormones, this is a sensitive topic, so let us be a little careful and be fair here. On social media, every second person is talking about testosterone. A young man cannot build muscle, check testosterone. He is tired, check testosterone. He is sleepy, testosterone. India loses a cricket match, probably testosterone. Let us be a little sensible here. In simple terms, your muscles respond depends on two things. One part is the biology, age, genetics, muscle fiber type, and how your muscle cells respond. The other part is under your control, training regularly, increasing the challenge slowly, sleeping well, and eating enough protein. The research summary highlights that in healthy young adults with normal hormone levels, small natural differences in testosterone do not explain who gains more muscle. But, and this is important, this does not mean hormones never matter. In older men with clinically low testosterone, it can be genuinely be relevant. In selected older men with clinically low testosterone under proper medical supervision, testosterone therapy has been shown to support training adaptations. but that is a medical issue. It needs proper evaluation, diagnosis, service, benefit discussion, and a doctor supervision. This video is not advising anyone to start testosterone. If you are an older man with real symptoms, please get properly evaluated. Do not self-prescribe. Do not buy online boosters because someone in the gym says so. Mrs. Kamala asks, Doctor, my neighbor's son is taking some testosterone booster from online. Should Durai also take it? Meenakshi says, Doctor, first make him lift the dumbbell regularly, then we can discuss boosters. And I say, correct Meenakshi, before boosting hormones, let us first boost his gym attendance. For most healthy young people, the problem is not low testosterone. The problem is that the dumbbell has been the same weight for 6 months. Let's come to myth number 5. After 50 or 60, muscle gain is impossible. It's a fifth myth. This is the most harmful myth of all. Many people tell me, Doctor, now I am old. Strength training is not for me. But this is exactly when strength training becomes more important. Aging naturally brings loss of muscle mass, strength, power, and balance. This affects walking speed, stair climbing, fall risk, diabetes control, joint health, and independence. And here is what the paper says clearly. Resistance training is one of the most potent tools we have to counteract age-related muscle loss. So it also states that not all older people are slow responders, and chronologically it should not be seen as a barrier. Let me say this clearly. Age is not a wall, age is a reason to train smarter. Older adults may need more supervision, a better warm-up, slow progression, attention to joint pain, fall prevention, adequate recovery, good protein, and medical clearance from when needed. But they should not be told you are old, so only walking. Walking is excellent for the heart, but walking alone may not be enough for muscle strength. Doraisamy says, Doctor, I am 58. Can I start strength training? Before I answer, Mrs. Kamala says, at 58, why strength training? Sit quietly and do bhajan. Meenakshi replies, for bhajan also he needs back strength to sit straight. Exactly. The strength is not only for bodybuilders, strength is for getting up from a chair, strength is for carrying your grandchild, strength is for preventing falls, strength training can support the management of knee arthritis, diabetes, and healthy aging. Strength is for staying independent. After 50, the goal is not a six-pack. The goal is simple. Don't become frail. Myth number 6. If I don't improve, I am definitely a non-responder. This is the deepest myth of all. The word non-responder sounds final, like a stamp rejected by muzzle. But the science is far more nuanced. Most studies measure a person once before and once after a program. The trouble is a single before and after measurement is noisy. Measurement error, hydration, sleep, food, biological variation, techniques, and even the machine used, all of these can affect the result. The paper warns that the responder and non-responder framework can be misleading if we can treat a simple pre-post change as someone's true response. To a true non-responder, you would need to train them, measure, let them recover, and train them again to see if the same results repeats. Almost no studies have done that. In plain language, just because one test did not show big muscle gain, it does not mean your body cannot respond. Mrs. Kamala says, Doctor, I am a non-responder. I ask, how long did you train? She says, 2 sessions. I ask, and then she says, then one wedding, one ear piercing function, one temple trip, and one viral fever. This is not non-response, Mrs. Kamala. This is non-attendance. Doraisamy says, but doctor, I trained for 3 months. Meenakshi says, doctor, he trained Monday chest, Tuesday biryani, Wednesday wrist, Thursday YouTube research, Friday leg pain, Saturday wedding, Sunday recovery. That is a very clear, very creative weekly split, but it is not a training program. So before you call yourself a non-responder, check these 6 honest questions. Did I train at least 2 to 3 days per week consistently? Did I progressively increase weights, repeats, or sets? Was the set actually challenging? Did I rest enough between the sets? Did I sleep enough? Did I eat enough protein and total food? If these are not in place, don't blame your genetics. Don't blame your mitochondria. And please do not disturb your ribosomes unnecessarily. Before responders and non-responders, How does muscle actually grow? Before we talk about fast responders and slow responders, let us understand one basic thing. How does muscle actually grow? Most people imagine muscle growth like filling air into the balloon. But muscle is not a balloon. Muscle is more like a factory that becomes bigger, stronger, and better organized when you repeatedly challenge it. When you lift weights, your muscle fibers receive a mechanical signal. In response, the muscle starts building more protein. The individual muscle fibers can become thicker. This is called radial growth. The fibers grow in width. Inside each muscle fiber are tiny contractile ropes that are called myofibrils. These are the structures that actually help the muscle produce force. Newer latest research suggests that muscle growth is not simply old myofibrils becoming bigger. The muscle actually add one more myofibrils inside the muscle fiber. So when you train properly, your muscle is not just swelling, it is adding more contractile machinery. That is why strength training is different from just looking pumped after exercise. A pump may last for hours. Real adaptation takes weeks, months, and years. There is another interesting point. Some research suggests muscle fibers can also adapt in length by adding small contractile units called sarcomeres. This may be one reason why training through a good range of motion, especially safely controlling the length and position, can be very much useful. And behind all this, the cell needs the machinery. It needs ribosomes, the protein building factories, needs satellite cells, the helper cells involved in repair and growth. It needs energy, nutrients, sleep, and repeated training signals. So, muscle growth is not magic. It is your body saying, if this load is coming again and again, I must prepare better. That preparation is what we call adaptation. What actually happens fast and slow responders? What actually explains that? Now, a little more science, not too much, don't worry. The researchers discussed many biological factors. Two came up again and again. One, the ribosome biogenesis and satellite cells. Think of ribosomes as the muscle protein building factories. To grow a muscle needs more of this machinery to build new proteins. Higher responders seem to ramp this up more strongly and earlier after training. Satellite cells are like helper cells, the muscle stem cells that support repair and growth by donating nuclei to the muscle fibers. Some studies suggest higher responders may have more satellite cells before training and may add more during training. But here is a public message that matters. You cannot directly control your ribosomes. You cannot sit on the bench and say, dear ribosome, please cooperate today. But you can control the signal you send to your muscle. Progressive loading, real effort, enough weekly volume, good sleep, adequate nutrition, and long term consistency. Your biology decides how the muscle answers, but you decide whether you ask the question at all every single session. So, the practical take home message, let us make this usable. If you are a beginner, a middle aged adult, or older adult who wants to preserve muscles, here is a reasonable framework. Train 2 to 3 days per week. Cover the major muscle groups: legs, hips, back, chest, shoulders, arms, and core. Use machines, dumbbells, bands, or body weight, whatever suits your condition. Choose a weight where you can do around 8 to 12 controlled repetitions with the last few feeling challenging. Stop with about 2 good reps still left in the tank. Rest at least 1 minute between sets, closer to 2 minutes for bigger lifts. Gradually increase reps or load over time. Aim toward roughly 12 hard sets per muscle group per week. If your goal is muscle size, adjust for pain, recovery, age, and any medical condition. Protein matters, sleep matters, recovery matters, and creatine and protein supplementation may give a modest benefit in some people. The paper notes this, but they are secondary. They are not a substitute for training. Please remember, pain is not a badge of honor. Joint pain, swelling, chest pain, dizziness, breathlessness, or any neurological symptom is not something to push through. Train hard, but train intelligently. So, are you a non responder? Maybe. But most people should not jump to that conclusion. You may simply need more time, better programming, more consistency, better sleep, better nutrition, and more realistic expectations. And the message from this research is not depressing, it is genuinely hopeful. People respond differently, yes, but strength training still works across age groups. Older adults can improve, machines work, free weights work, genetic testing is not ready, supplements are secondary, and the word not responder should not be thrown around so casually. Doraisamy asks, Doctor, give me a final advice. Meenakshi says, tell him in one line, doctor, otherwise he will invent one more excuse. Here is the one line. Don't quit strength training just because the mirror is slow. Your muscles may be responding long before your eyes can see it. Mrs. Kamala says, so doctor, what should I do now? Start safely, progress slowly, stay consistent, and don't become frail. This is Dr. Naveen Thiyagu, orthopedic surgeon. See you in the next video. This channel is about bones, joints, muscles, movement, and healthy aging. If this has helped you, share it with someone who believes they are too old or genetically unlikely to build strength. They may need to hear it more than anyone. Disclaimer, this video is for education purpose only. It does not replace consultation with your doctor, physiotherapist, dietitian, or certified exercise professional. Exercise plans must be individualized based on age, medical history, pain, function, fitness level, and safety. If you have pain, dizziness, chest discomfort, recent surgery, osteoporosis, diabetes, complications, heart disease, or any medical concern, please seek professional advice before starting or changing your exercise routine. See you in the next video. Goodbye.